I've been wanting to build two houses side by side on the same lot and have them function as rental units. That way you can rent out one house and live in the other one. So today we are building in San Sequoia. This is where the Michelson household is located, Celeste and her husband and the kids, and this is where it's located in San Sequoia itself. It's a great size lot. It's 50 by 40, which means that it's interestingly shaped, but it allows for like really big backyards, and it allowed for two houses to fit side by side. I always thought that their lot was actually really like big and there was just a lot of empty space in their house. So they've downsized to a smaller house, which I think works really well for them. And then the house next door can be rented out and they can make rental income, and you have like cool neighbors living on the same lot. So the idea behind these two houses are that they match the nearby shells. Like, this location is surrounded by all these different shells that have similar styles to these houses. So I wanted them to fit in perfectly. So these are loosely based on the shell houses that surround this lot that you can kind of see in the background there. In a couple of different areas. So, I mean, I have no idea of interior floor plans because they're just decorative shells. So I'm making it up as I go, but I thought they're really good family homes. Like when we get to the backyards and stuff, they're huge. I actually put in a completed treehouse, which I don't know how you will feel about that, but a while ago I had my sim build a treehouse, which took forever. So I saved that treehouse as a room in my library, so that way I could use it on future lots. That way it's already put together, so your Sims don't really have to build it. But there are other elements and things that you can still add to the treehouse. Like, it's not fully done, but it is a structure that your child Sims can actually play in, or your adult Sims can take advantage of for woohooing in there. So yeah, I mean, it's not fully done, but you know, there's still some pieces. I think there's like lights that you can add to it, and I think there's like one or two other things. So it's not fully done because my Sim wasn't like the great at handiness or whatever skills required to build the treehouse. So as far as these houses, they're very tiny on the inside. So it was very tricky to figure out a good floor plan that kind of works well. Originally, I thought, yeah, we'll have the steps as soon as we come in. But later on, I end up moving that to the back of the house. And then in the other house, it has an entirely different first floor and second floor plan layout. So everything's in a different spot, but there are some similar items being used, such as the bathroom items and the Home Chef Hustle kitchens. Once again, they make a return, but I just think they're so beautiful. And I'm using some items that I don't normally use, like a lot of the windows, like railings, this archway is all from the Growing Together pack, which I haven't used the archway yet in a build, I don't think. So it's nice to use that. So this is the first house going together, and this is a white kitchen. Originally, I have this big window on the back to kind of bring in a lot of light and then kind of look over the backyard. But I do end up taking that out in the end to kind of shuffle the fridge and stuff over to that side instead of being how it is, because it made it feel like a tunnel or just like this really long hallway. And I didn't really want it to feel like that. So we do swap it out for a smaller window and then just move the fridge and stuff around. So yeah, I used the new tile here in the kitchen from the For Rent pack. Like, that has amazing, beautiful tiles. So I used this black and white version, which actually goes really great, as you can see, with the Growing Together tile wallpaper, which I used in the kitchen. Out here, we're putting together the living room. I put in some radiators in different spots of the house, and mainly on the first floor. I didn't do any on the second floor, but I did it on the first floor in the main living areas. And then we have the couch going in and some reading chairs here, and that's really it. We do put in some baby related objects and furnishings down here, like the little like play mat thing and a couple of little toys, because again, this is where the Michelsons, in my game at least, actually live, and they do have a baby. And then they also have a child as well. So, But yeah, I thought the baby objects were kind of important considering in my game, this is where the Michelsons will live in their new improved house. We do this big glass sliding door, which actually goes out to the massive backyard. And then upstairs was even more trickier just because of the shape of the house. But we do end up having a primary bedroom, a primary like bathroom attached to it, a hallway bathroom, a baby nursery, and then a small playroom. I decided not to turn that playroom into an extra bedroom, but rather it just be a playroom for now for the kids. But later on, if like you wanted to expand, or like let's say you didn't have a baby in your household, you could easily swap those rooms for other furnishings like beds and whatever your Sims would need in this particular case. So these houses are actually very flexible. I listed them as 3-bedroom and 2 bathrooms. However, you could easily up that to a 4th bedroom. Like I said, if you were to turn that playroom into an actual bedroom, and then if you were in the other house to turn the home gym into a bedroom. In the other house, I put a gym instead, but because I thought that was kind of nice to have some gym equipment. So as far as the rental units themselves, the backyards are actually shared space. They weren't considered a room, and I didn't really want those like items in the backyards to be hidden because I thought that would be kind of weird because like everything disappears when you assign the units and you're only looking at your active units. So I thought that would be kind of weird if like the backyard furnishings and the garden plants and the chairs and stuff just kind of disappeared. So I couldn't even set it anyway because it didn't really consider a room. I'm sure it's possible to do. You would just have to do it in a different way. How I did it, to set that space if you didn't want it. But I just feel like it would look weird. So it looks nice having all the objects shared. And then that way Sims can use either objects. Like if there's kids living next door, I mean, they can come over and use the treehouse, or you can swim in the pool. You can have the cookouts or barbecues. I did put in little turtles, swimming turtles in the swimming pools. And each house has its own driveway with a fake debug car. So yeah, the cars are not real or functional. They're just purely decoration, but I thought it's great to have them because also a lot of the neighboring shells had little like driveways and cars. So I kind of really didn't follow like a particular path with this build. I have to be honest, I wasn't feeling it at first. Like I was just like, I don't know, there's something about this I really don't like. So I did take a little bit of a break and then I did come back to it, but and I did decide to finish it because like I just want to have like a house and then a house shared on the lot. So I did want to finish it in the end. I just kind of started like I was postponing the furnishing as much as I possibly could because I really didn't want to furnish 2 houses, but we do get to that eventually. I'm just doing some landscaping, pulling some things from the debug, like these bushes, and sizing everything down. This entire house was built with the Move Objects cheat activated. Just keep that in mind. It'll probably like warn you when you're placing the lot. Speaking of the lot, it is available on the Sims 4 gallery. Here is the gallery listing. Again, it's a 50 by 40 lot. Each unit or house has 3 bedrooms and 2 baths, but you could easily make that a 4th bedroom should you need to. So it's a great playable house and a great playable location, actually. I only used 6 total packs, and they are Growing Together, For Rent, Eco Lifestyle, Dream Home Decorator, Home Chef Hustle, and then Bathroom Clutter. And the entire property costs 159,814 simoleons. So your Sims will need that to purchase the lot, and then you can, rent out the unit next door. The actual renting portion is pretty affordable. I think it was 240 simoleons for the unit or the house that wasn't occupied. In this backyard on the one house, I did put a splash pad. I've actually never used that before, so I thought that was great. And considering the Michelsons originally had a splash pad in their backyard, I thought I should kind of throw back to that and include that. And they also had a treehouse, but their treehouse wasn't completed, or at least partially completed. But they do have a partially completed treehouse now, so yeah. Make sure to give this video a thumbs up if you're enjoying it so far, and subscribe if you haven't already. I have been doing a bunch of For Rent content and videos, apartment builds, and this is the first time I'm kind of doing actual like separate houses. I did townhouses recently, but I wanted to do separate houses. It's something a little different, but to show you just how it could work like in so many ways. And we will get to other things too, such as renting out just different areas. Like for instance, like you could use it in the horse ranch pack, and you could like rent a space above the horse barn if you really wanted to. Like you could make like a mini house above your horse barn or have like a horse barn loft or something. You just have to like, I guess in the rental listing, you'd probably have to note that there are horses below you, so you might hear some neighing. But yeah, I am doing the layout on the other house and then flipping back because I realized I did a really good layout in this house. Like I was able to fit an additional bathroom because at first the other house only had one bathroom. So I'm like, oh, I should probably just copy that because really I don't need to have that hallway space. It would just be like useless space. So that's how we gained another hallway bathroom. And then the other house also has like a big, I guess more open air to the lower level below, whereas the first house kind of is smaller just because of how it's laid out. Like you can see that here, it's just totally different, the hallway space, but it's so cool. I like having that like uniqueness. Like even though the houses or like townhouses or apartments look the same on the outside, I always want them to make them feel like different or unique on the inside, whether it's through furnishings or a slightly different layout. It just makes it feel more real. So it's nice to have, the neighboring houses be that way because, most houses aren't like a one-to-one copy, or there's something slightly different about them in some way. Now, the bedrooms upstairs are actually really cool. This is the primary bedroom going together, kind of throwing stuff in here. And then this becomes a kid's bedroom for the Michelson's daughter. So it's decked out in pink and has lots of like girly things or kid related items. Like we have this bookcase. I do put in the Blarfy, and I was thinking about putting in that like play tent, but I was like, that's just too massive. And I thought about putting it in the playroom, but again, like the playroom is just a small room. It could easily be a bedroom, but like, no, it's just too big. I should have really put it out in the backyard. That would have made total sense. I don't know why I didn't do that. There's so much space in the backyard. It could have gone right next to the treehouse. Missed opportunity there, but that's okay. That's something you can easily add yourself should you want to do that. But hey, if you don't want that little play tent, then by all means, you don't need to have it either. So I'm just adding some more toys, and we do put a toy chest on the first floor as well. And then this is the playroom going together, which I put in a dollhouse and a toy chest, and then a couple little toys scattered around. But yeah, like I said, it could be a great little extra bedroom. This is the baby nursery, which I just threw in a bunch of different baby related items and baby care items, including the changing table, the crib. We have a potty for potty training, a rocking chair for reading, put up some curtains, and just a little bit of baby related clutter and some toys. I do move the rubber ducky to the bathroom, the hallway bathroom, because I feel like you would take the baby to that bathroom to bathe it anyway. It was closer, like it's right outside right here. So I do steal some space from the primary bedroom to fit in a sink. We just do a little bump out just to kind of squeeze in the sink here because otherwise, it wouldn't have been a functional bathroom. I just needed a tiny bit more space. And there goes the rubber ducky on the sink. I have to say the sinks have some weird snap points. Like I wanted to put like toothbrushes and stuff in there, but it wanted to put it on the end of the sink. And it's like, okay, like I wanted it back by the faucets. So I guess these particular sinks only have like one good snap point that would put it back to the faucets. I don't know. I just made it work. It's still cool just having a little bit of clutter here and there to make it feel like a lived-in home because it is. Like the Michelsons do live here. So yeah. I used the for rent curtains here and kind of elevated the middle pieces with the move objects cheat, just to kind of make that wall of windows look a little less weird. In the other house, I don't recall what I did, but we'll get to that. We'll see what I did with that and curtains when it comes to that. But I thought that those are perfect because they're like really long curtains. They can be white. I put in a ceiling fan. I'm just trying to put a light above the staircase here. And then I'm doing some outdoor lighting now, which I realized I did in daylight. And then I switched it. I'm like, wait a minute, Arthur, you can't see anything. So we do put some lighting around on the exterior of the houses. And then I did find, because I had the debug enabled, I did find some debug related items such as the baby's like handprints. And we had like some school drawings. So I hung those in the kitchen of the Michelson's house. So this is the other house that's coming together. This one has more of like a yellow and kind of, I don't know, more muted tones to it, I guess, compared to like white and kind of bright like the other house. So everything's a bit more toned down, and a little bit more darker. But it's still a great house. It's a totally different layout. You come into the kitchen and the dining room table, and then the long hallway portion, which is the kitchen in the other house, is actually the living space. So we have a fireplace, we put a TV in here, and then in front of this big window, instead of it being like the dining room, it's just like a reading space, and we put a bookshelf in there. I use the debug furnishings, which is crafted furniture. I thought they looked so cool. They're from Eco Lifestyle. But if you enable the debug, there's like a bunch of furniture that your Sims would craft. But I used some of the completed items as furniture in this house because it had the awesome yellowy goldy tone that I was going for to tie back into like the front door of the house. So very cool, like first floor here. Very muted tones, but also I love the pop of yellow. It just makes it feel very cool. Very, I don't know, very homey too, which is actually both rental homes have the homey trait. They also have the traits of kids play, which basically means kids and like children will learn different skills quicker on these particular homes. So I thought that was cool since they are family oriented homes anyway. We're just filling the kitchen with some clutter. We put in the new mixer. I realized I forgot dishwasher, so I went back to add a dishwasher. And I did put in the new kettle in both houses as well, and we're just doing up the backyard now. I did find this nice umbrella in the debug catalog, so that's kind of nice. I love the colors on it. It has a wide range of colors. We put a garden hose out here because they have a garden, which actually I guess would be a community garden since it's not owned by that particular house, since it's shared space, because I couldn't assign it that way. And then we're just painting the walls up here. Again, this house has the home gym, but you could easily convert it into another bedroom should you need that. There's 2 bathrooms up here, which they're going together right now. This is the primary bathroom, which I did put double sinks in this one, only because how the door was positioned, it was like perfect. Like I could fit everything I needed. But in another house, I couldn't do that. It's just a different layout. Yeah, I do like this bedroom a bit more, the primary. It's a bit smaller, but like I like not having the bed against the wall of windows at the front. And I'm pretty sure I did put curtains. Actually, I didn't put curtains on the front wall of windows. That answers that. I only put it off to the side windows, but I didn't put it on the front. So I think it doesn't look as weird because the bed's not in front of it. And I think that's why I kind of prefer that one a little more. But that's okay. It's still like pretty and cool. And then we do put in a nightlight. I went around and put a nightlight in some of the kids' related bedrooms. This one bedroom was again styled around like a girl, and then we have like a boy's bedroom on the other side. But there's bunk beds here. So really you can sleep a lot of Sims. I put a little crafting table and a couple of of the growing together items, including the marble jar. Though I just realized I did not put the marble like play thing in the backyard, which would have been great to put on that patio there where the like loungers are. Should have did that. Small oversight on my part, but I was making sure there was other cool things like tree houses and stuff. So yeah, but you could easily add the marble ring so that way your Sims can play marbles and collect marbles and stuff. So yeah, very cool bedroom. This is like a dark green and very kind of dark like wood bedroom, but still very cool. We have a desk. And then like the bed is above the desk, like the bunk bed, but also very minimal. It's just a very weirdly shaped room. So it was kind of difficult to furnish, but in the end, it turned out really nice. We do put some functional bikes around, and kind of slot them in place. And then this is the home gym, which is actually pretty simple. It's just a treadmill and then like the punching bag, and then like a fitness related like wall decal. And that's really it. I didn't put curtains in there or anything because I didn't want to like overly clutter the home gym room, but you know, again, you could convert that into a bedroom. So here we are now into the screenshots. We'll go house by house and kind of walk through what they all look like, all finished. I did have the terrain paint bug, so apparently that's still a thing, because I had to go around and retake screenshots because it was missing a lot of the different terrain paints. Like you can see here from the garden to the path there. It was like missing a lot of terrain paint I did under the shrubs and everything. And it was just like, wait a minute. As you can see here, it's missing in this, but these are the units. So we have the two houses all mapped out. One's light blue and then one is orange. And then we're going in the light blue house first. And this is the living space. Again, you can see those baby items there. But again, that's because they have a baby. So I just thought it was nice to include those oriented items. You can see the kitchen is different as well. I do like that much more, I think, rather than having it just feel like a narrow, long hallway. This is the hallway area upstairs. And then we have the primary bedroom, which is actually really cozy, I think. I do love the wall of windows, but again, I kind of feel like it would have been better if I could position the bed some other way, but that's okay. Primary bath, and then we have the hallway bath here. And then we're moving to the baby's room. And we get two different shots. And I have to say the baby's room has like really great views of the backyard. Like look at that out the window. I was like, whoa, that's so cool. Like I could see the treehouse from the nursery. And then this is the daughter's room, which is very fun, I think. Very cool looking. This is the small playroom, which again could be an additional bedroom should you need it. But I thought it was good to include some of the bigger items like the dollhouse. And then here's the beautiful backyard. We have the splash pad out there, the treehouse, again, not fully completed, but at least functional to some extent. And now we're going into the other house, which you can see the items popped up, but I had to go into build mode to do that, to kind of show them since I do have Sims here. This is their space as soon as you walk into the house. Again, totally different layout from the other house. But I really do love how this first floor turned out, especially the living space. I just love like the yellow. It's just such a nice accent color with the darker colors. It just, I don't know. There's just something about it that I just really like. I can't explain it. And then we have the space upstairs. This is like the hallway area, so you can see down to the front door. And then we have the primary bedroom, primary bathroom with the double sinks. And then we have the home gym, which again, that could easily be a different bedroom if your Sims are not into fitness or having a home gym. Then we have the hallway bath, and then a couple of the other rooms. And then we kind of venture out to the backyard. But I do hope you enjoyed this speed build. You can find Eucalyptus Lane or 101 and 102 Eucalyptus Lane on the Sims 4 gallery. They are classed as a residential rental, so you can rent out both houses or one house, and my EA ID is TheSimified. So make sure to give this video a thumbs up. I do thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Hey!